Hello, everyone. Hello, it is Speech 6. Welcome to spring, my friends. It is so happening. Did you all take winter classes? How you feeling right about now? I know. I taught many classes in the winter. I'm a little bit traumatized if I'm telling the truth, but I wanted you to know that I'm a real life person. I am not a robot. So that person who emails you and grades stuff and makes announcements and bugs you all the time, it is I. It is I, Casey Jones. So I just want to go over a few quick things for this week 1 as we break it to ourselves that this is actually happening, and show you a few things on Canvas and just some quick reminders, okay? So first of all, when you log into Canvas, you're going to hit our home page, and our home page is like the door. It is the door that blocks us from all the magic. All right, so the home page is the door, and you can see that I have some announcements up here, and I make a lot of announcements. It's just a great way for me to be able to connect with everybody one time instead of like 100 times. So if something's happening with Canvas, or someone had a good question, or I have an extra credit opportunity, I'm not saying it happens all the time, but it might happen, then I'm going to put it in announcements. So the best thing you can do for yourself right now, besides face reality, is that you need to set up your notifications in Canvas. So you got to do it. You are either got to be that person that checks Canvas several times a day, or you got to be the person that has to be reminded constantly that you are taking a class online. All right, either way, no shade, but you got to set yourself up for success here, and there's 2 things that will help you with that. One is making sure your notifications are turned on. The second one is time management. Let that burn for a second. Now, some of you are probably great at time management. If you've taken online classes before, you know how it rolls. It goes fast. You have to be really self-disciplined. It's all up to you. If you haven't, and this is the first time that you've ever taken an online class, no problem. Just get organized. You want to start early. Start early. Like on Mondays when the class is open, I want you to read over everything. Plan what you're going to say in your discussion, your initial post for your discussion, and then I want you to go in later in the day and make that initial post. By Wednesday, respond to 2. Like, get it done early so that you have plenty of time to work on your research and some of the other project elements that are going to be coming up. Okay, it's super important. And like I said, notifications is an important thing to keep you in the loop, because we want to communicate. We want to stay connected. We want this class to feel like we're on campus. So I want you to make sure that you figured out some ways that you know what's happening, all right? The other thing is you can also download the Canvas app. And the Canvas app is good for notifications because it will also notify you. It'll be like, ding, 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 you got to get this done. So that's a great tool to really help you stay involved in your own deadlines, okay? Now, the Canvas app can be a little glitchy sometimes when it comes to submitting assignments, but for everyday stuff, it's really great. So really check that out. All right, and so let's say that we're here, we've logged in, and we're on our homepage. And if you scroll down, you can see just a lot of information about what the heck's going on in here. So we've got the syllabus and the calendar, modules, the course check-in activity, and it gives you just a little bit of heads up about how to do what. All right, really important. So a couple things. First of all, when in doubt, go to modules. If you're like, where am I? How did I get here? How do I find what I'm supposed to do? When in doubt, you always click on modules. Modules is like the doorway. If the home page is the door, then modules is the doorway, and you're going to walk on through, and here we are in our virtual classroom, and everything you have is here. So you can meet your professor, you can go to my virtual office. Let's see if anybody's asked a question. Maybe they have. Let's see. Okay, not yet, but it's no big deal. So if you have a question that is really helpful for everyone in the class to hear the answer to, you want to go to the virtual office and ask it there. If it's something specific to you, your grade, or you're having an issue or whatever, then email me using the inbox, okay? And here's the inbox right here. Boom, 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 right there. Okay, so let's go back to modules. When in doubt, go to modules. And let me show you, I need to scroll, hello. I want to show you the check-in activity. So here is the check-in activity, which is due tomorrow night, just your initial post, okay? Initial post, the first post of the discussion is due tomorrow night by 11:59, okay? This is really important that you get this one done on time because this is similar to that day one of on-campus classes. And you know how teachers drop everybody on day one if they don't show up? This is what this is. So I've got a wait list, and we've got people trying to get in. So I don't want to lose you. I want you to stay. But if you're like, I gots to go, then you need to drop us now. Like, quit us right now so that I can start adding people from the wait list, okay? But if you're like, I don't know, maybe I'll stay, maybe I'll go ahead and do the check-in activity anyway. That way, if you're like, oh no, I wanted to stay and I drop you, like, we can avoid that, all right? So when in doubt, hit modules and then also do the check-in activity just to be on the safe side, okay? So when you go to this first discussion board, I have posted a couple of tabs. One is for terms and definitions to get you familiar with the discussion board if you've never done it. And the other one is frequently asked questions, how to embed a video, you know, how do I get full points, what's up with that. And this check-in activity is worth 2 points, but all the other discussion boards are worth 10. Okay, so you'll see the rubric. You'll see the rubric in the assignment when you go to those weekly discussions. So definitely check that out. All right, I'm a real stickler about late work, everybody. It's just too chaotic if the work is coming late. I mean, we have a schedule and we got to stick to it. So get a schedule, write stuff down, really get your head on straight. If you're having trouble, the time to tell me is not the day after something was due. Okay, that doesn't work. You got to tell me before. Like if you went squirrel and you totally forgot something, hey, it happens. I get it. We just got to let it burn. Okay, I'm going to keep pushing you to move forward because 8 weeks goes like that and we got a lot of stuff to cover. So stay on top of it. Communicate with me if you're having a problem and we can work anything out. I mean, it's a communications class, right? But just take stock. Like instead of giving you an extension, I'd rather help you set up a time management plan. You know what I mean? Because giving you an extension doesn't really help. It doesn't really solve whatever the fundamental problem is with your time management. And it's no big deal. You got to get the hang of these online classes. So I can help you to do that. So let me know what you need and I'll work with you to get it squared up, okay? Because late work is kind of a no. All right? The only thing that's an exception to that is the quizzes. So the quizzes are due by Sunday nights by 11:59, but I leave them open an additional 24 hours so you can get half credit. All right, so if you went squirrel and you forgot to do it, no problem. Get in there on Monday, knock it out. It burns a little bit when I go in and you've got full points and I go, no, and I cut you in half, but some points are better than nothing, right? So just keep plugging along and you'll get the hang of it if you're really checking in on a regular basis, okay? So that's really all I have for this little announcement. I try to keep them as short and sweet as possible. And if you have any questions about you, please send me an email. If you using the inbox feature, and if you have a question that would be helpful for the whole class, go to the virtual office. Have some fun. Pick topics you like. Don't waste a second doing something you don't like. And we'll go like that, okay? So have a great first week, and I'll see you on the discussion board. Okay, bye.